Have you ever wondered why some of the smartest people you know seem to be stuck? I mean, maybe that's even you. You know you're intelligent, but progress just seems so difficult to find. Well, today I'm going to explore why intelligence is a double-edged sword for many people, and more importantly, how you can begin to overcome this and use your intelligence much more to your advantage to make much more progress in your life. Now, here's an interesting fact though. Research has shown that the more intelligent you are, the more likely you are to stifle your own progress and self-sabotage making any kind of forward direction in your life. Which seems crazy because you'd think that being intelligent would make life easier, but it's not quite that simple. It can actually make life more difficult and much harder to make decisions and take action. And there are three key areas where this shows up for intelligent people. The first one is overthinking. I've been guilty of that. I've suffered from analysis paralysis, God knows how many times in my life, to the point where I couldn't take any kind of action or get anything done. The next one is perfectionism, and again, this is a big deal for intelligent people, trying to get things absolutely right before making any kind of decision or making any kind of progress. And the final one is fear of failure, and this is often tied up with self-esteem and expectations. And the one thing that all three of these have in common is unrealistic high standards, to the point where nothing gets done, no decisions get made, and nothing happens. But think about it, it's mad. There are people out there with high intelligence who are overthinking, overanalyzing what they're doing and never seem to make a start. And there are people who are less, shall we say, gifted, who are just smashing it because they saw a direction, got an idea, and just went with it. So here's why this happens. Now, intelligent people are particularly good at seeing all of the angles, all of the possibilities, all of the risks, and all of the what ifs. Now, this is great for problem solving and, doing puzzles, but it's not great if you really want to make progress in your life. Every potential choice feels like a minefield, whereas the doers, they just get on with it. Simple as that. You see, smart minds crave perfection. They crave things being right, and there's little wriggle room in here. I mean, maybe you know somebody who's, read all of the self-improvement and self-help books, been to loads of courses, bought lots of downloads, but they never seem to implement any of it. They don't do any of it. And so nothing seems to change. I know a few people like that, and I've been guilty of that too. But here's the kicker. Thinking feels good. It's safe, reassuring. But taking action, wow, that's messy, it's risky. Things could go wrong, things could fail. So intelligent people stack up all the knowledge, but never seem to make anything of it. Even worse is many intelligent people will think that this knowledge stacking is actual progress, but it's not. The psychologist Carl Jung said something along the lines of, "You are not what you think or what you know, you are what you do." And knowing lots of stuff actually is a bit of a trap, because the more you know, the more you realize that there is to know, and it can become paralyzing. So what can we do with all of this? Well, I have some good news for you, because intelligence is an asset and it is a blessing. But there are some things that you're going to need to do to begin to leverage all of this stuff inside that wonderful brain of yours. And it really is simple. It's not less intelligence. You don't even need to know more, but what you need more of is action and guts. That simple? Yep, that's simple. Easy? That's a different story. You see, in short, like the doers, you just need to pick a direction and run that way. Pick something and go with it. Imperfect action will always beat imperfect hesitation every time. As a good example, think about Thomas Edison. He invented the light bulb. He tried thousands of times before he got something that was a workable model that could be manufactured at scale. Thousands of times. I mean, that's some tenacious. What if he'd given up on the 5th attempt or 6th attempt? Someone else might have invented a light bulb. It could have been another 50 years before that happened. But he didn't. He stuck with it. He took imperfect action and tried and tried and tried until he got there. Now, I'd like to tell you a story of a friend of mine from my late teens, a guy called Gordon. Now, Gordon was in his early 50s. He was, overweight. This is the kind of guy who would, be out of breath if he just ran a bath. But he realized that he needed to get fit. He didn't even know where to start. So a friend of his said, why don't you just start running? Get yourself some decent running shoes and just start jogging. Now, this was a massive uphill thing for Gordon, but he did it. He didn't start running, he started walking. And then his walks got quicker. And then he started jogging. And then he actually started running. And he set the goal of running the London Marathon. It took him 2 years to get to that point where he could and did successfully run the London Marathon. Was it easy? No. In fact, a lot of the times it was downright uncomfortable. Did he feel like quitting? Yes, a lot. Was it worth it? Definitely. He hadn't been running or into any kind of exercise since he was in his early 20s, and he wanted everything to be just right before he got started. It was never going to happen. So he started off small, started with what he could do, and built from there. Was it uncomfortable? Yes, it was. In fact, for him, it was very uncomfortable because of his physical state. But he did it. He made a start. Didn't wait for things to be perfect, didn't wait for circumstances to be right, didn't overthink it too much, thankfully. He just went ahead and did it. Now, I've seen this example many, many times of people who overthink, but just go and do it. And the results are absolutely amazing, and it can work for you too. So how can you make a start on this? Well, first things first, just like Gordon, you might need to acknowledge that it's going to be uncomfortable to begin with. As the book says, feel the fear and do it anyway. The next thing is to realize that there is never going to be a perfect moment. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. It just doesn't happen. If you're waiting for the perfect moment, you're going to be waiting for the rest of your life. Just pick something and go with it. Whatever it is you want to improve, whether that's getting fit, losing weight, improving your mindset, changing your career, starting a business, even improving your relationships. Make a start. Pick something and go with it. And finally, accept that you will make mistakes. It's not going to be perfect to begin with. Over 10 years ago, I started making YouTube videos, and I look back and I cringe. They are painfully bad. But I did it. I overcame my own discomfort. My first video was a 90-second video. It took me over 2 hours to make because I absolutely had to get it perfect. I improved, but looking back, it was painful, and it was painful at the time, but I did it because I wanted to do it. And I didn't wait for the perfect time, didn't wait for the perfect circumstances. I just decided this is what I wanted to do, and I went with it. And you're going to have to do the same. You're going to have to acknowledge that it's not going to be perfect. It's going to be messy, it's going to become uncomfortable, and you might just get it wrong. You might fail, but that's a risk in life. You want to do anything, you've got to run the risk of failing, not doing so well, or being imperfect. But here's the cool thing, is that if you stick with it, things will get better. Whatever it is you're trying to learn to do, it will become easier if you stick with it. But here's the cool thing, get yourself a goal. What are you working toward? And I'll cover that in a video at the end. But make an imperfect start. It's a bit like the book Ready, Fire, Aim. It's a business book where they get the idea ready, they go for it, and then they refine it along the way. You're going to need to do something similar. But the cool thing is, it's worth it. It really is worth it. So what is it that you're waiting to do? What is it that you want to get done that you're overthinking and just not starting? Write it in the comments below, and then go and do it. Make that start. It's going to be messy, may even be ugly, will be uncomfortable, but just get going. Because the real failure isn't making a mess. It's being stuck where you are and regretting the actions that you didn't take. You see, intelligence is awesome, but it should never be the goal. The world does not need more thinkers. It needs more doers. So take that amazing brain of yours and make something happen. So that's it. Go and do it. Get some stuff done. If you've got questions or comments, please write them in the comments below. It'd be great to hear from you. Subscribe to the channel. Thanks a lot, and bye for now.